Hello, everyone. My name is Asma Khalil, and I'm a professor of maternal-fetal medicine. Today is a TAPS Day, and it gives me a great pleasure to have Bethany and Cameron, who would like to share their story about a pregnancy that had TAPS. Thank you so much for joining me, Bethany and Cameron.
Thank you, Professor Asma. My name is Cameron. And we found out we were having twins at a 12-week scan, which would have been back in early July/late June time. That was quite a shock. We didn't know about any complications that would or that could happen with twins. We thought it was a relatively safe pregnancy, like a normal pregnancy of a singleton. When we got to the 16-week scan, we were diagnosed, or our local hospital, Friendly Park, weren't happy with the sizes of the twins. So we were referred on to Professor Asma and her team at St George's. And when we got there and we had a scan, they basically said that this looked like a twin-to-twin transfusion. You may need laser surgery. It was the first time we'd heard of TTTS. So we had a few scans. We went back a week later. Beth had to have the first laser surgery. And then we thought we were out of the woods and everything was going to be safe and we were going to go on to have a great pregnancy. Or Beth was going to have a great pregnancy. And then about a week later, we got referred back to our local hospital because the scans were great. And our local hospital wanted us to go back to St George's because they weren't happy with the sizes again. And that's all we were told, really. We had never heard of TAPS. No word of TAPS was ever mentioned. And then went back for the TAPS.
So yeah, and then we went back for the TAPS and met Asma, and then she diagnosed us with TAPS, which we then had the laser surgery for, which was successful, which we were very fortunate about. Following that, we then had an MRI to check that their brains were both okay from both surgeries, which were all clear, which was amazing. And then following that, actually on Christmas Eve, my waters broke and they decided to come early, which led us to have 9 weeks in neonatal care, which now the girls will be coming home on Monday. Penelope on oxygen, but doing very, very well, only on a little bit, and Marnie on nothing. So we're very grateful for everyone at St George's for what they've done, picking up at everything and working as quickly as possible to save our girls. So yeah, we're very grateful.
Oh, congratulations, Bethany and Cameron. I realize it has been a challenging journey. It's been a long journey for you, but it's fantastic that you have two healthy babies. On the TAPS Day, what message you want to give to the expecting parents, on parents who have a similar twin pregnancy, sharing one placenta, maybe early stage in pregnancy, or to us as healthcare professionals?
I'll go first. Yeah. So I'd certainly say that parents shouldn't necessarily be advised to ask those questions, but you sort of need to be gathering more information from the hospitals once you're diagnosed or you're told that you're expecting a twin pregnancy in the 12-week scan. That there's not enough information about it. It's very exciting at the time, a little bit daunting maybe, but there's not enough information about what could potentially go wrong, or how this journey could be, like information leaflets. And I would say, I don't want to be critical, but the healthcare professionals, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more training throughout sonographers to make sure things like TTTS and TAPS is more known about and screened for, because when we were referred on to St George's for a size difference, which we just believed Penelope, the smaller twin, the donor twin, would eventually catch up, it was actually stage 4 TAPS, and that could have cost her life, purely because it hadn't been screened for. People were not aware, people hadn't had the training, and then we just are relying on professors such as yourself and the team at St George's to try and come up with this research and try and educate, other hospitals throughout the UK and the world, really, to try and change the standards. And I feel incredibly grateful that she's here, but at the same time, I feel like it was quite a near miss with her life, really. Yeah, she is obviously smaller now. She's about 4 pounds. Marnie's about 6 pounds. But yeah, I just feel like it needs to be known about, really. It needs to be screened. People need to be made aware. Parents need to be told about the risks that can happen in identical twins, especially obviously sharing the same placenta. Yeah, that's it, really. Have you got anything?
No, I think you kind of covered everything, really. I think one of the main things as a parent as well is to go with your instincts. I so strongly felt like something wasn't quite right. And then I didn't really realise afterwards I had a lot of tightening in my stomach and stuff like that. Yeah, which then did say, you know, that could potentially be a sign of twin transfusion. I was gaining a lot of fluid. And again, that wasn't made aware to me, but I just felt like something wasn't quite right, and to always go and get checked out and get second opinions sometimes if you feel like something really isn't right. Yeah, pretty much. I think that's the only thing.
Well, I mean, there are sort of clear messages there. The fact that we need to raise awareness, and we need to ensure that all us as healthcare professionals are aware of the TAPS. We look for TAPS, and if we see signs of TAPS, refer to the right team with the relevant expertise. Bethany and Cameron, thank you so much for sharing your story with us on the TAPS Day. And I'm really glad that you have 2 healthy babies, and you're doing brilliant, and you look great.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure to see you again, and hopefully we'll keep in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.